kind of the way I want you to go this morning. I want you to feel this is a class where, like, dance because no one's watching, that sort of thing. Do yoga because no one's watching. So if you just want to sit and watch, then that's fine too. The title is This is Progress. And progress partly here is about taking ownership and feeling you've got the authority to make it your own practice. So we're going to start. All of these are invitations from me this morning, as always. So we're going to start with just finding our posture. So if you haven't already, wherever or however you're sitting, find your sit bones, find the length in your spine so that you've got nice long channels for the energy to flow through. And if you watch your breath for a second or two, see how it is. And then take control of the breath when you're ready. So inhaling for up to 4, roughly, a count of your 4, and exhaling for 4. Nothing too dramatic, nothing too taxing. Stuff we do every day, stuff we do all day, we breathe. But this is just extending the breath a little bit, smoothing it out, taking it deeper, both nostrils. And just beginning to come to the mat a little bit more by closing our eyes and feeling that you've arrived here at your yoga practice. So already this is part of the progress you've made from the first time you attended a yoga class. Think of it that way. You now can do this simple act of just bringing yourself to the mat. We think of progress. We're always reaching and trying to attain perfection, sometimes anyway. And in yoga, it's no different. There's an awful lot of I can't do this pose yet sort of stuff goes on, or someone else can do it better than me. Perfection in itself is an expectation that we put upon ourselves, and it can cause us a lot of anxiety in yourself, and you have caused it by trying to reach that goal. Reaching a goal is a good thing, and trying to attain a goal is a good thing, but that thing about perfection is not always a good thing. So switching up the breath now, let's go to Anuloma Viloma, which is alternate nostril breathing. So find your Vishnu Mudra, or Vishnu Mudra, or fold the fingers in is the other option here, and using your ring and your thumb for either nostril. And starting when you're ready by gently closing off your left nostril and breathing in through your right. Closing off that right nostril and breathing out through your left. And then in through the left and out through the right. So a very simple circle that you're thinking of there. In one, out the other, in that one and out the other one, the first one again. So eyes closed again is helpful here. Our eyes closed is to bring us inwards, to find self. Rather than if your eyes were open, you'd be looking around the room, you'd be looking at other people, trying to see what they're doing, wondering what they're thinking. Yoga is about what you're thinking, what you're doing, remember. So going back to our idea of trying to reach a goal, achievements do make us feel good. Every day you should do a little thing that you feel you've achieved, just to give you that sense of purpose. But here in yoga, we use our breath and our self-awareness, drawing ourselves inwards, to help us achieve. But we also have to bring into enjoyment. Oh, it's not, I've got a ghost in the room. And embrace challenges that are ahead of us in yoga here on the mat, but also accept the outcomes. If we don't get there, it's not for the want of trying, and maybe that's where we're supposed to be. And that's the way we'll achieve a sense of freedom. So, changing up again, take the Vishnu Mudra away, bring both hands down to your thighs, gently place them down, use a mudra there if you'd like to, Chin Mudra or one of the mudras, and then go back to your breath and see if you can psychically breathe now. So without holding the nostrils closed, breathe in through your right and out through your left, in through your left and out through your right. So psychically is a little bit more difficult, obviously. We really have to come inwards and really focus on what we're doing here. And while you do that, you can't think of much else, unless you're really, really good at it. And then you have to find another little goal. So just psychically breathe Anuloma Viloma, alternate nostril breathing. It's against and with the grain of the hair in your nostril. That's how it translates. So inhale, exhale, it's to be even and smooth and balanced. And after a couple of more rounds, let go of the breath, keep your eyes closed. Just notice what your hands are doing. Not with judgment, just notice what they were doing while you were doing something else in your head. And then release and open the eyes. So then we're going to come over into tabletop when you're ready. Get rid of anything that's in the way. Just going ahead here, we will be on our knees a bit, so if you need a cushion, bring it in, or you can fold your mat, remember, and use it to pad your knees if you find that you need a little bit of padding there. And there will be a choice with the knee thing, so don't worry if you don't like it. Okay, so coming into tabletop. So the thought here is about pushing and pulling. So there should be no pushing and pulling in cat-cow, which we're about to do. You can start it now if you're ready, but make sure you're prepared properly, using your forelimbs, using the length of your spine, drawing your tummy up to support the movement you're going to make through your spine, using your breath again. So we inhale in neutral. If you have started already, please don't worry. We exhale into cat. So lifting up through the back of our body, taking it from the tailbone up. Just a gentle movement to start, don't be too wacky. Give the body a little bit of time to catch up with what your brain is trying to tell it to do. So take a few cat-cows, thinking of that sort of pushing and pulling. So if we're looking at trying to progress, forcing our way through things to try and achieve something, you'll break something, or you'll get bored, or various other things will happen, and you may never actually get to where you're trying to go if you try and force your way through things. If you try and stop, breathe, take your time and start to enjoy it, then you'll find things flow a lot easier. So here, if you now want to, this is a choice thing, take it into playing with it, into dynamic cat-cow. So taking your bottom down, rolling along the floor, feeling and back up. Rolling up into cat, taking the hips back as you do, extending through the armpits. Elbows then would come down to the floor. If you're not in the same place as me, then please just do your own thing, but listen to the cues. It might help you find yourself moving more carefully and easily through the pose. Just take a few cat-cows dynamically if you feel like it. If you haven't already done a dynamic cat-cow, then just try one or two before we move on to the next part, just to get your spine flowing in that way. So you don't need to really extend, you just need to make it a little bit bigger, your cow here. And then everyone sit back into extended child's pose. So really stretched out here. But the idea is to get the bottom down. Don't worry about your head at the moment. Just take the bottom down and extend the hands forward. We're not going to rest in this. We're going to move. So don't worry about your head not reaching the floor. If it does, then that's fine. Gives you a little bit more stretch through the back of your neck. But from here, we're going to move forward onto our bellies and into Cobra. So we're going to keep our hands as extended as you feel comfortable. Bottom might come up a little bit, don't worry too much. Using the hands to pull you forward, elbows and forearms go down to the floor. The heart moves along just above the floor. You move forward, come down into prone Shavasana. So take yourself down. Your hands should be in the right place then for Cobra. And then you're rolling up into gentle baby Cobra. We're rolling back down. We're pushing carefully into the hands, lifting up through the tummy, take the hips back, come back into Cobra. Quite a big one, this one. If you don't like it, please just stay in child's pose and maybe move in your own way through to Cobra. So this is rolling as close to the floor as you can. You're already prepared for Cobra, and then you roll up. If you can start to move this a little bit more fluidly, you might can move it through on the breath and take it as almost one movement. So rolling through and straight into Cobra. Taking your bottom back into child's pose. So there's no need to reach that and do it all in one movement. If you're finding it too much in any way, listen to yourself. If you really can't be bothered with it this morning, listen to yourself. There's a reason your energy is maybe not flowing this morning in this way. So take one or two more, everybody, in whatever way you're deciding to do this. If you've got the whole flow, there is a sense of achievement when you get to the higher level of whatever we're doing, but it's not about getting to that high level. It's about doing what's good for you. And then come down to the floor and rest everybody for a second in prone Shavasana. So take your head down onto your hands. So if you've been in child's pose, just move along and stretch out in prone Shavasana. Have a little stretch of each leg. So from your hip downwards, from the waist downwards, move right down through to the toes on your right foot. Maybe lift the toes off the floor a little bit, have a bit of a stretch out there. Let that leg settle, let everything draw back. Go from the waist of your left side then. Move down through, stretch right through. See if your foot then comes off the floor slightly as you extend. And then let that hip settle back down. So we're going into another challenge pose now. So do you like challenges? Maybe you don't. If you don't, then you can come back up with the rest of us and decide just to kneel and use prayer hands in front. If you're coming with me, we're coming up into broken toe. So three options here. You can just kneel, you can tuck your toes and kneel, or you can come up with me onto your toe, your ball of your foot and balance. And find your heart center with your gratitude seal, your Anjali Mudra. Everybody can manage that one, hopefully. So rolling the fingers up to point the middle fingers up towards your nose. Taking your chin back to find that long back of neck. If you're up on your toes, this balance is quite a strong one first thing in the morning, maybe. So if you're wobbling, use a chair or a wall or something beside you just to help maybe, or behind you even the wall. You can move in the class, you don't need to stay on the mat even, you can move away from your mat. So just breathing and finding that balance in you. And then coming back down onto your knees, everybody, and untucking the toes if you've got them tucked. Have a little slap through on the floor gently, just to open up a little wriggle of them. And then come back onto our knees. So we're going to take the first part, just kneeling. I'll turn around now just for a second. And it's, now we're working with Sun Salutation, nothing you don't know. So maybe that makes you feel there's no progress because we're not doing something different. But every time you do the same thing, you progress, remember. So this one, we'll do it on our knees, then we'll do it in an option of moving up and down on our knees, optional, the whole thing. And then we'll take a standing flow on Sun Salutation, optional again. So you can do it at whatever level suits you this morning. Okay, so kneeling. Find your long spine again. Find your sit bones on your heels. Press into them. Maybe you can then find you press into the front of your feet to lift yourself up. Find your posture. Find your breath. Start to control the breath. We're going to work with the breath. And all we're doing for the first 3 in-breaths is just lifting our arms up above our head. If you don't want to do that, you can pop your hands on your thighs and lift up. So all we're thinking here, it's not really about the shoulders and the arms, we're thinking of extending through the spine as you raise up and then softening through the spine. So it's all spinal movement as well. Well, it is all shoulder as well, but if you don't want to do the shoulder, the spine is the focus here. And again, then we're going to move into side bends now. Spine is the focus, not the arms. So if you want to take one arm up, then fine. Hand can be at your waist on the other side. Everybody can do it with 2 hands at the waist if they want to. When you're at the top there, extend through the spine and then side bend on the exhale. So remember the side bend, we'll do a couple of these while we're up. So just keep the arm up if you've got it up. If you've got it down at your waist, that's fine. But just think of extending the spine as you breathe in, exhaling and contracting on the side body to take you over. One more on that side, extend, exhale. Try and keep that top elbow back, try and keep the line there so that if you were between 2 panes of glass, you're not falling forward or back. Take that arm down, take the other one up. Extend, 3 on this side. Think of that drawing down through from armpit to hip to draw you over. So imagine what your spine's doing. Close your eyes if you can, or half close them. Draw inwards and feel what's happening with your spine. Feel where the slight bend is to allow your side bend. It's not down at your waist, it should be somewhere in your thoracic spine. So between your waist and your cervical spine at your neck. It's not about how far you go over, it's about the movement that you get through your joints. Take the arms down. Okay, so I'm going to start moving up and down. If you want to stay on your knees, you can. If you'd rather just sit in your bottom for this bit, then fine. We're going to do it again, but we're just moving up and down this time. So inhaling, take the arms up above the head, reaching from the tailbone to the crown, exhaling, rolling back down through the knees. A little bit of a sense of relief of 2 more of those, of opening up the legs there when you've been sitting on them for so long. It is a point actually to remember, do not kneel for too long because you can cause yourself DVTs and things if you do. So gardening, etc., please remember that. Please don't kneel for too long a time because you're cutting off the flow of blood at the bottom. Inhale the left arm up, exhale, over to the side. Inhale up, exhale back down this time. Take the right arm this time, inhale up, exhale over. Very simple movements, ones that we all know. Take 2 more, 1 on each side. So we all know these simple movements. There is a sense, again, there's no challenge we feel. The brain is saying, wait a minute, I want to have something that challenges me here. The challenge is to stay in the movement, make it as strong, as long, as tall as you can, as flexible and mobile as you can be. Steer a sukha, find that balance. Back down. Okay, so we're going to go into our full sun salutation here. We'll be going up and lifting the foot forward. We'll be coming back and rolling through just like we did into Cobra, and I'll take it on the other side. If you don't want to go up and down on the legs, you can still do the sit down for the arms and then come up into a low lunge. Okay, so when you're ready, inhale, arms up above the head, exhale, sit down. Inhale, left arm up, sorry, side bend. Inhale up, sit back down. Right arm up, side bend to the left. Inhale up, exhale down. Bring your right foot forward into a version of low lunge. Inhale the arms up. We'll just take an extension, then we'll take a little bit of a back bend on the next one. Exhale down, inhale up, roll through, lift the heart up. Take the elbows and the arms back out to peripheral vision. Exhale back down. Step that foot back. Sit back onto your knees. Step the foot forward on the other side. Inhale up. Extend. Exhale down. Inhale up. Roll into your little back bend if you feel like it. Exhale down. Step back the foot, sit back down. So I'm going to move back a little bit. You need to be at the back of your mat for the next part because we're going to do that child's pose move through into Cobra thing on this side. Okay, so inhale, arms come up above the head, exhale down. Inhale the right arm up this time, exhale side bend. Sorry, I might be going a bit fast for people, do it at your own speed. Left side arm up, right side bend. Keep that length in the spine, keep that elbow back on the top, keep the tummy engaged, back down. Roll up, step forward with the left foot. Inhale the arms up into your extension, really extend through your side bodies, exhale down. Thinking of that extension and then moving through into the back bend, rolling up and open. Exhale down. We're coming back down now into child's pose. So step that foot back, come into child's pose, bring your head down and extend your arms. Move forward through on the floor like we did before into Cobra. If you don't want to do that, then move in your own way. And then push back into child's pose again. Walk your hands in, come up to kneeling again. Raise up, step your right foot forward this time. Inhale up, extend. Exhale down. Inhale, extend and roll open your heart. Exhale down, feel your hip flexor when that happens. And then step the foot back and sit back into kneeling with hands at heart center. How does that feel? So just take a few breaths here, eyes closed. Think how you're feeling about this. So sometimes patience, humility, wisdom is talked about in yoga. And I read something yesterday, somebody saying it's a bit like people as they grow older. With age, we get patience, wisdom, and humility. I wouldn't always agree with the first one, but learning patience and being humble about what we're doing is part of yoga. It's not all about flash dancing. So just doing these lower level things, you're doing just as much for your body, maybe not quite so much, but for your mind and for your emotional state, it's just as good for you. So taking your own level again now, we're going to move up and do Sun Salutation, standing as an option, or you can take it again down on the floor if you'd rather. So you choose, it's your chance to decide. If you're coming up with me, then move into tucking your toes. If you're not coming up, you might want to do a roll up, roll down with us just in between. So tucking toes and rolling onto the ball of your feet like we did in broken toe, bringing your hands in, and you're in a really bent forward bend effect here. So start to then roll your hips up. Keep your knees bent and then start to roll your body up. And coming up into Tadasana by rolling your shoulders back, turning your palms to the front, tucking the tummy in the bottom, reaching up through the crown from the feet. And then everybody rolling back down. So curling back inwards, drawing inwards, looking towards yourself, softening the knees, rolling back down. If you want to stay down for the next Sun Salutation, then take the choice now. You're coming up with me, roll back up, slowly back up through to Tadasana. And we should all be ready to start. So if you're standing, you want to be at the front of your mat. If you're kneeling, you probably want to be at the back. Remember, there will be options for this one. So remember, if I'm doing the lower part where we would be doing half plank, etc., you can do the child's pose through to Cobra. Okay, too many options this morning. Okay, so standing or kneeling, be ready. Inhale, take the arms up above the head. Exhale down. Take one more of those. Really roll through the feet this time. Soften the knees, bounce. Exhale down. Right arm's coming up first of all. And a side bend to the left. Different experience when you're standing. Exhale the arm down. Left arm comes up. We're all looking for different experiences. That's what makes the world turn. Otherwise we'd all be bored in life, wouldn't we? So there's nothing wrong with looking to do something different. Let's take one more of those, everybody, wherever you are, and this time we're going to do a roll. So we're side bending, holding the side bend, drawing and inhale that top elbow back and looking up to the top corner and rolling forward. Inhale, the arm comes up, exhale down. Same thing on the left side. Inhale up, side bend and roll. So you're exhaling over, your next inhale, you're pushing through your feet or your knees and you're rolling open your heart towards the top corner. Forward, inhale up, everybody, exhale down. Okay, so swan dive or roll down here, those that are standing. Inhale, roll down into your forward fold. If you're sitting, you can just maybe roll forward. Hands to the floor, step back with the right foot if you're standing into low lunge. If you're kneeling, foot forward with your right foot. Inhale everybody when you're ready, extend. Exhale, roll down. Hands come back to the floor. Let's do an opening, heart opener, back bend. Exhale, down when you're ready. Those that are kneeling, take the front foot back and come into either half plank or plank, whichever you decide. Everybody, those that are on the floor, hopefully you're in child's pose. Everybody coming down and finding Cobra. So lowering down carefully. Elbows are tight to the side, everybody, remember. Rolling up into Cobra. Back down. Those that are on the floor, tuck the toes, we're coming up into down dog. So lift up into down dog. Come back onto your knees otherwise. In down dog, split dog with your right foot. Right foot comes forward into low lunge. Right foot on your knees as well. Inhale, everybody's extending. Exhale down. Everybody's going to the back bend heart opener now. So lifting first, extending and rolling the heart forward. Hands come down. Step the back foot forward, everybody that's standing. And everyone take a sweep up of the arms to finish. Hands come above the head, heart, center, hands, and Jali Mudra down through as you exhale. And back into Tadasana if you're standing. So, trying to visualize two movements there was catching me out a little bit. So hopefully those that were kneeling had the rhythm already from having done it previously. Okay, let's take that on the other side. Let's just go with it. I'll kind of cue it, but let's just try to follow it in your own way. Inhale, arms up above the head. Exhale down, taking the side bend, left arm up. Exhale over. Inhale up to the top. Exhale down, not taking the heart opener this time. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale over. Inhale up to the top. Exhale down. Inhale, arms come above the head, swan dive, or you roll down here. Everybody moving down, ready to take your first low lunge. Step back with the left foot this time. So your right foot's forward. Inhale, arms come up above the head, extend, really reach up, feel the back flexor. Exhale down. Inhale, roll open the heart this time. Feel the spine move, imagine the shape it's in now and the spaces between them. Hands come down, stepping back into half plank or full plank, or you're doing your child's pose, Cobra. Lower down carefully, elbows tight to the side as you lower down. Untuck the toes, roll up to Cobra. Rolling back down. Coming into down dog, those that are on the floor. Getting ready for the other side and low lunge. So we're lifting the left leg and putting the left foot forward now. Inhale, extension. Exhale down. Inhale, back bend. Lift that heart up. Feeling the flow and the flexibility coming into your body. It's a really good feeling. Step forward with the back foot. And when you're ready, sweep up, look along the floor. Hands come up above. If you're kneeling, just hands above the head. Draw them down then through heart center and into Vrikasana. Take a breath. So, how was your patience and your humility there? Hopefully everybody got through that. It was a little bit glitchy with the cueing, but hopefully you can now just stand still, feel that energy that's flowing through you, and hopefully it feels balanced. The question of progress, do you have to feel progress when you do sun salutations? Yes, you do, because progress isn't about whether you can side bend or back bend or do anything else a little bit better. It's about how you feel, and you have progressed here because hopefully you all feel a bit brighter with that. Sound like I'm preaching, sorry this morning. Okay, all coming to standing. A little bit of balance practice here. So firstly, right leg up and find your left standing foot. So right leg with your thigh parallel to the ceiling. Excuse me. I do this every day when I'm brushing my teeth. Maybe some of you do that too. Think of the standing leg, either open at this point, please. You might want a wall or a chair near you. Standing leg, stand on the left foot and find the tripod. Switch on that left glute and draw it into the center. Lift up the other thigh a little bit if it's starting to droop. Draw in your tummy. Draw your shoulders back towards that spot between your shoulder blades. Draw your chin in to find that long back of the spine in your neck. And breathe. So hands can do whatever they want there. Here, they're really just for balance. You might have them in the wall. You might want them at heart center. And then if you're comfortable and you feel you're really standing nice and steady, once you've got the balance, close your eyes. If you don't feel comfortable with that, find a drishti point and half close them. So a drishti is a focal point that's not moving. But otherwise, see if you can close your eyes and how long you can keep this balance. Woo, I'm going. Okay, so just a little test there to see if you can, the change up between having eyes open and closed, it goes the balance quite quickly. But if you can really focus on your standing leg, try it on the other side, might be different, might be not as connected to this side. So try it on the other side. Remember all the posture points. If you find the posture points, then it will help you with your balance. That's why I was cueing them. Particularly your abdominal muscles are really involved in the stability here. Also your shoulders, if they're leaning forwards or back, you're not going to keep the balance. So try and find that long feeling between shoulders and hips. And feel that they're stacked one on top of the other. Okay, once you find you think you've got the balance, and if you're up for it, then close your eyes. Really focus on the standing leg. And breathe. And then release that foot back down. So how did you do? I did much better on the second side because I was much more aware of what I needed to do there. So it may be that that's a better side for balance, or it may be the other way. Right, let's try that now with tree pose. So you can bring your brick in if you need to here, or you can keep your toe on the floor, or you can put your foot to your calf, or now they do say you can put it on your knee, used to never be that, or if you can and you haven't got slippy trousers like me, you can bring it up and pop it inside your inner thigh, but that never works with me, so I've got a short thigh bone. So let's come to wherever we want our leg in tree. So thinking again of that standing leg, thinking of our posture points, particularly the tummy and the glutes, finding your tree. You can stay like this. You can take your arms above your head if you want to. You can lean with your back on a wall, or not lean, but have a wall there for help and support. Wherever you are, see if you can close your eyes now. When you feel ready, see if you can, close your eyes. Oh, much harder with my hands above my head. You see, I'm not trying to show off and say that I can do these things. I'm trying to show you that it's not easy sometimes to progress. And some days you just go backwards. But it's not about that. It's about having the fun and the enjoyment about being here. Change sides when you're ready. Same thing. See if it's different. Yoga shouldn't be a serious thing. Life shouldn't be a serious thing. And when you're having fun, you'll find you progress much easier, much quicker. That side was a bit easier. Interesting, both sides, both times it was my right leg, which was better for balance this morning, so maybe tells me something. Okay, so then coming back down to the floor just to finish, roll down, come down, take your choice here. So you might want to do legs up the wall, Supta Baddha Konasana, you might want supported bridge with a block or a bolster under you. Happy baby is another option. Whatever option you feel, might be you just want to take Shavasana or prone Shavasana. It's only for a few breaths, it's only just to finish the class, but it is really important to reset here. So if you've gone into one of the other poses, I probably won't go into Shavasana. So if you have, then decide yourself whether you want to go into Shavasana afterwards. So wherever you've decided to be, you might think, oh, don't really like this now, want to change. Always feel free to do what feels right for you. And if you've chosen a pose that's putting a lot of force through you, I've just gone into Happy Baby, for instance, and try and find the ease in it. And if you really can't find the ease in it, then move into something else. Because we're just going to finish with a mantra. And the mantra won't work if you feel like you're holding on, you're pushing, you're shoving, pushing and pulling. So find yourself at ease wherever you happen to be. And we're going to say 3 times this little mantra to ourselves. The mantra is nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one needs fixing, all is well. So you can do it on the inhale and the exhale together, or you can do it just on the exhale. Decide where it fits. I'll say the first line, you can repeat it on your breath. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one needs fixing, all is well. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one needs fixing, all is well. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one needs fixing, all is well. I may have gone a bit fast there for your mantra. It's a great one to remember, that one, just to do it throughout the day here and there. It works. 3 or 4 times, if you say that to yourself, it's really calming and soothing. Brings you back into the present. Makes you realise that the world will still hurry by even if you stand still for a few moments. Progress isn't always about moving forwards. And certainly in yoga, being still and being able to be still is part of the progress. So I'm going to move to finish class. If anybody wants to stay in Shavasana, please come into Shavasana now if you're not already in it. Maybe take that mantra a few more times. If you feel you're going to need it today, then take the mantra a few more times. The world will still be there when you get back up from the mat. Otherwise, thank you everybody. I hope you do feel you've progressed today, in whichever way you see progress. Thank you for your practice, and namaste.